All right, let's talk about the NBA draft. We're diving deep into that high-stakes, totally unpredictable world where every single team is hunting for that one player, that one superstar who can completely change their franchise's destiny.
But let's be real for a second. What is the draft? Really? It's basically a multi-billion-dollar guessing game. You have teams pouring millions into scouting, into analytics, into hours of interviews, all just to try and answer one simple but kind of impossible question. Is this kid really going to be a superstar?
And you can just feel the pressure on those front offices. I mean, we are talking about decisions that can set a franchise up for a decade of winning or a decade of being totally irrelevant. The money involved is insane, but the prize, a championship, is even bigger.
So here's the thing you've got to remember. This isn't about who the best player is right now, today. Nope. Scouts are trying to project what a player is going to look like 10 years down the road. They're betting on a kid's work ethic, how his body will fill out, and if he can handle the pressure of the best league in the world. It's a pure bet on raw, untapped potential.
So to really get how these teams make these massive bets, we gotta have a blueprint for what a valuable player even looks like in the modern NBA. Trust me, the game has changed a ton, and the kind of player everyone is looking for has changed right along with it.
Okay, so I want you to focus on one term here: advantage creator. This right here is the absolute key to everything in modern offense. Can you get past your defender one-on-one? Can you force another defender to leave their man and help? If the answer is yes, you are the engine. You're the guy that makes the whole offense go.
And scouts use a framework pretty much just like this to break down a prospect's entire game into these key pieces. See, it's not just about scoring. They're asking all these other questions, like, okay, can you finish a play after someone else creates the advantage? Are you smart enough to make the next pass to extend that advantage? And hey, what are you actually bringing to the table on defense?
So where are these guys developing all these skills? Well, it's really a two-track system. Think of AAU ball as the big, flashy stage. That's where guys get seen, playing tons of games against other top recruits. But that's not the whole picture. College coaches, they also really value what a player does in their high school season, because that's way more structured. Daily practices, watching film, learning team concepts. You need both to build the kind of prospect we see on draft night.
Okay, so we've got the framework. Now for the fun part. Let's actually apply this blueprint to some of the absolute top prospects in the 2025 draft class and see how they stack up.
First up, the guy everyone agrees is number one, Cooper Flagg. And man, this quote from A.J. Carter just nails it. It is so rare to find a player who you can even argue is the best player on both offense and defense in the same class. His ceiling is it's ridiculous.
So let's break down this card, because it's pretty wild. Look at those scores. A perfect 100 is an advantage creator and an advantage extender. At 6'9", he's a matchup nightmare. Then you look at defense, and it's another perfect 100 as an off-ball defender. His instincts and timing are just game-changing. So, is there any weakness? Well, the one thing people point to is finishing through contact at the rim. If he gets better at that, we are looking at a future MVP. No question.
All right, next up, the number 2 guy, Dylan Harper. And if you want a perfect example of an elite advantage creator, this is your man. I mean, this guy is one of the best downhill drivers we've seen in a while. He's got this incredible handle for his big 6'5" frame. And get this, he shot an insane 70% at the rim as a freshman, and most of those were shots he created himself. When he decides to drive, he is a problem.
And this chart, this shows you everything. When you put Harper's advantage creation score up against other really good guards in this draft, like VJ Edgecombe or Trey Johnson, you see the gap. He's just on another level. That specific skill, being able to break down a defense whenever you want, that's what separates the stars from the superstars.
But hey, the top of the draft isn't always about the sure things. You know, some of the most exciting players to talk about are the gambles. The guys who could either be Hall of Famers or out of the league in 3 years. The ultimate boom or bust prospects.
And Noah Essengay is the poster child for this. This quote, it just perfectly sums up the headache scouts are dealing with when they watch him play. Everyone agrees the talent is there, but the risk, it's just as big. The range of what his career could be is just massive.
So what makes him such a puzzle? Well, on the one hand, the strengths are tantalizing. He is a freak athlete for his size, he put up crazy numbers for a kid his age, and he lives at the free throw line, which is huge. But then you flip it over and it's like, what is he? He doesn't have a clear position, he's super skinny, his defense comes and goes, and he's got basically zero mid-range game. You're just betting that those incredible tools went out in the end.
And then
there's this guy, another ridiculously tough player to figure out, Ace Bailey. Think of him as a pure artist with the basketball. He can make shots that maybe 5 other people on the planet can make. It's just special.
But that's where you get the specialist's dilemma. So you've got this one side of the coin where he's this elite, fluid, long-arm shot maker. But you flip that coin over and, he doesn't like to pass. He takes a ton of difficult mid-range jumpers, and he really struggles to get the easy stuff like layups or free throws. So the big question is, can you actually build a winning offense around a guy who specializes in making tough shots? Scouts are all over the place on this one.
So it all comes back to that one simple question, right? Which of these bets is going to pay off? Cooper Flagg, he looks like the safest bet in years. Dylan Harper looks like a guaranteed elite offensive engine. But what about the gambles? Is Noah Esenge's raw talent going to blossom into stardom? Can a team turn Ace Bailey's incredible shot-making into something that actually wins games? Every pick is a bet, and we're just going to have to wait and see which ones hit the jackpot.